I want to welcome all of you who've joined us today for the celebration of the Council's 20th anniversary. We have many distinguished guests. Our former presidents are with us, senior government officials, ambassadors, and foreign dignitaries, and most of all, our partners and friends from all over the world. So I thank you for coming and honoring us here with your presence for this very, very special occasion. It really is hard to believe that a generation has passed since the Council was formed in 1986. You know, we used to always think of a generation in biblical terms, and certainly it is a long time, but it's a time for reflection, a time to look back at what we've accomplished, and most importantly, the possibilities of what the next 20 years will hold for us. And you know, if you look back 20 years ago, the United States and the world were just such fundamentally different places than they are today. In fact, as Richard said, for me being an archaeologist and looking at the past, there's probably no time in human history that we've seen such transformational change in the world as we have in the last 20 years. But on an economic front, certainly the United States faced high interest rates, high inflation, low productivity, and the escalating tensions of the Cold War, and new international competition from Asia and the rest of the world. And yet today, 20 years later, our economy is the envy of the world, and it's truly the engine of the global economy. And this evolution has been captured today in the release of our 20th anniversary Competitiveness Index, Where America Stands. That is the benchmark of America's economic strength in the global marketplace. I want to thank the members of our National Innovation Leadership Council, many of whom are in the room, for their support of this work, as well as our government sponsor, the Department of Commerce Economic Development Agency, because enabled to produce this work, we again, a hallmark of the Council, had a very strong public-private partnership. I also want to thank two of my great colleagues at the Council, Chad Evans and David Addis, for what they've done to create this seminal piece of work under the leadership of Professor Michael Porter at Harvard. One of our friends and colleagues that many of you know, Deborah L, cannot be with us tonight because of a family emergency, but I know she very much wanted to be with us for the celebration of our 20th anniversary. Now, innovation, we're going to talk a lot about innovation tonight and over the next day, has been a hallmark of the Council from its very inception, because when John Young decided that he needed to galvanize a group of CEOs and university presidents and labor leaders across the country to come together and understand what is competitiveness and what do we need to do about it as a nation, that was in itself a tremendous innovation and unprecedented. And today, 20 years later, innovation is the word of the land. We have discussions across the country, in the White House, in Congress, in our state capitals, and literally in the hopes and dreams of all Americans. Tonight, the Council is, with our celebration dinner, really launching our I-5 campaign, and to really have you explore and think with us, what does innovation mean? I'm sure if we ask everyone around the room, you would have a different definition of what innovation is. But for us, innovation is the intersection of imagination, insight, ingenuity, invention, and impact. And it's all about transformational value.